Welcome back to our SOS riding tips. Today we're going to talk bar setup. So today's riding tip is more about bike setup than an actual riding technique. We do a lot of schools, and that is one of the things that we see that gives people the hardest time to get into the right body position on the bike. And I set my bike up the way that we find a lot of riders using their setup, which is the bars rolled really far forward and the levers down, with the idea that somehow that will get your elbows up, will get you to the front of the bike, and will ride you, will get you in the right body position, which is wrong. It's totally wrong. There's no way you can ride and control the bike with this handlebar setup and the lever setup. So here are a couple clips for you to see why this setup doesn't work. So as you can see in the clips, with my bars being that far forward, it's really hard for me to get across the bars right with my chest forward, because if I really get above the bars, I'll be on my front fender. Same when you're sitting down, you're trying to control the bike. There's no way you can get on top of the bars with your bars being that far forward. So right away you drop your elbows and you're kind of leaning back and riding the bike from behind the bars. And if you go to your local track or your local trail, you see that a lot of people with their bars far forward, elbows down, kind of pushing the bike away from themselves. And this is why that mentality of, okay, levers down, bars forward brings my elbows up, doesn't work. And here we're going to show you the right bar setup. So this is the bar setup you actually want, right? We all have the numbers and the little knobs to kind of set up the bars. You start at neutral. 0 is your neutral point, and then you roll them just a tad back towards you. So I usually start between 0 and -1 to kind of have a good starting point. And that will enable you to ride on top of your bike, but be center on the bike. You're not out there all the way on the front fender. You're really in a good position to control the bike, and that's where you want to be. For your levers, you start setting up straight and then just slightly down. If you have them up straight, it puts a really hard pull on your forearm, so just slightly down. That will enable you to really get forward, flex your wrists, and still have a finger on the control without just overextending your index finger and making it really hard on yourself. So this setup will guarantee that you're number one in the right body position for cornering, jumping, going over rough straights. Number two, you're in control of the bike. Finger on the front brake, finger on the clutch, as we always teach, will enable you to be on top of your bike, in control, and going fast. This is it for this week's SOS riding tip. As you see, it's not always about the right technique. The right bike setup will make it a lot easier for yourself. So bring your bars and your levers in the right spot, and you will see your riding improve overnight. Leave us a like and subscribe, and check back in for next week's riding tip.